Hello, I'm Frank Buckles, North Langley Community Director for the Greater Langley Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is doing a series of videos with candidates for Langley City and Langley Township Council. With me now is Eric Woodward. Eric is running for a seat on Langley Township Council. As a councillor, welcome.
Yeah, thanks Frank, and thanks for doing this, because I know that Shaw is not doing some of this year, and I really appreciate you guys taking this.
Thank you.
To really help everybody.
Just tell us a little bit about who you are and your background and why you're running for council.
Well, I'm running for council, as I've announced pretty significantly, I hope, on social media, is to fix the big issues that I think that we continue to go on and on and on. So obviously one of those is the traffic congestion issues through Willoughby, and they'll eventually happen in Brookswood as well. You know, a major roads crisis essentially, where we have 30,000 residents in Willoughby, like 25 along the road that simply can't get around. And so I want to help solve that, and I've released some good ideas for that. Deal with Brookswood as well. The future of Brookswood for emergency community planning process, I think, is a significant issue coming up, and we're going to repeat some of the mistakes in Willoughby. And we really need to deal with the fact that we need to preserve some of that character with those trees from Brookswood, and I don't think that's happening. And then it's really important to me that we get private investment going into Aldergrove, so I've really spent a lot of time talking about how to do that.
Okay.
My background, of course, is related to small business, tech business, very modest background. Grew up in Langley, went to HT Stafford and LSS, and went to UBC, and was very successful. And in Fort Langley, we've gone through a lot of great experience down there, and I feel that my development experience will be a great asset on council.
Good, thank you, Eric. Let me talk to you a little bit about business first.
Sure.
I'll mix it up a little bit from some of the other interviews I've done. The Chamber, and you are involved in business, and you own a number of businesses, buildings in Fort Langley. How can the township work better with the business community to make the business environment so strong, so businesses thrive and so the taxation is not overwhelming?
Well, I think you're getting at the basics of developing a strong tax base. So if you have a strong base of small business and medium-sized and some large businesses, you end up with a commercial tax base that you don't have to rely on a small number of businesses to pay that business tax. So if you really spend a lot of effort in doing proper and good economic development and long-term planning around a business tax base, then that will lower the tax burden for all businesses in Langley. And I think in some cases we're doing okay with that, and some that we're not. We've seen some great expansion in Gloucester over the last little while. But here we are, I think, in some of our planning decision making, we're making the wrong decisions where we're not building enough mixed-use housing in Willoughby. We're not, I think, really thinking forward on how we're going to need to maximize the use of some of our employment lands on the 200 Street corridor. You know, the building of the McDonald's, for example, versus a proper office building. You know, that has ramifications for the entire business community. And those are the kinds of decisions that I think that I can bring some experience and different perspective to bear on. So I think there's a lot of little issues that would add up to a lot. Red tape is obviously also very significant. You know, we have a lot of bylaws that really aren't enforced all that much. You know, business licensing is kind of a headache. You know, why are you applying for a business license every year when nothing's changed? You know, these kinds of issues that really amount to a tax on business that I think should be improved and should be looked at. And then, of course, the differential between residential and business tax rates has always been an issue, and we've got to manage that so that we're putting density in the right places and we're getting green space in exchange for that. What that will also do is ensure that we have a more balanced tax base, and if we don't do that the right way, it will be very difficult to get closer in terms of the residential and business taxation if we don't have better use of our land and getting green space in exchange for that.
Now, you mentioned in your remarks on business a little bit about mixed-use housing and housing, and one of the issues the Chamber has identified in this campaign and has been an issue across the region is affordable housing, and how can Langley Township provide more? What would be some of the ways you would see that would work in that regard?
Well, I think when people talk about affordable housing, clearly that can mean different things to different people.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that you see some of the metrics coming out where this is affordable, and then you talk to young people, and I talked to quite a few in the restaurant world, so I talked to quite a few of them, and you hear from them that they don't expect to own a home because something that somebody else considers affordable is just out of reach for them.
Right.
So I think you have to clarify what people are talking about, and to me there's a couple components. One is ensuring that we're not building a bunch of 3-bedroom apartments, which we're seeing a trend of that in Langley. I think find and talk about a real balance. Some smaller units are available, even those people don't like them. That's the entry for young people into the market. The other example is, which I've raised, is like Willoughby Town Center. This term, this council allowed the developer to remove the mixed-use housing on top of the second phase of Woodward Town Center. to me, that's kind of a mistake, that you need to make sure that you're putting density in the right places, and that directly affects affordability. It's a regional problem. Langley can't solve it on its own, but we need to make sure that we're doing our part. And I think some of these key decisions directly contribute to long-term affordability issues. And we need to start making better decisions. So we're not building single-story strip malls next to farmland, for example. That's directly contributing to the affordability crisis. And I think that in the NCP process in Brookswood and in Willoughby, we need to start looking at requiring some rental-only housing that is specifically available to younger people to remain in our community and get into the market slowly and stay here and live here, which at the moment they're not able. Some of them just aren't able to do. They're not able to even find a place to rent.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big problem, that we need to start requiring some rental-only housing to deal with affordable housing in terms of having a place to rent.
Then another issue that we're talking to candidates about is transportation and transit. And the township has some authority over some things, and others it works with the regional governments. What would you see are the top priorities in those areas?
Well, transportation, I mean, you're talking specifically public transit options?
Transit and roads, just moving goods.
Moving goods. Well, I think,
Yeah.
You see that you talk about moving goods, I mean, we're not even moving people properly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to be in Brookswood and you got to get to the freeway,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a ridiculous experience today. And that directly affects goods transport as well. So business and people are suffering. I think this issue of the major roads network, where 30,000 people live, you've got thousands in Brookswood, thousands in Walnut Grove, who are driving to Maple Ridge and Surrey to shop. That's directly affecting the small businesses in our own community and the Willowbrook shopping district. So it's all of this interconnected problems that are directly related to the major roads network. It's got to be fixed, and I presented a plan on how to finally deal with the major roads crisis here in Willowbrook. I think that directly affects goods movement. And in regards to transit, of course, we have to make sure that we're building our roads that transit can eventually come here. And I think that's a bit of a concern, that obviously if transit's not going to put it in today, we have to be designing the road network so that it can come here. And obviously I'm a big proponent, we talked about this before, Fred, that why is everyone else getting SkyTrain except for Langley?
Yes.
And that's it's not so much a councillor can do about that directly, and I hope to work with the council and our mayor to try to get the message across that it's really not fair what's happening.
Good. Well, thank you very much, Eric.
Thanks. That's it.
That's it.